The process by which European colonizers misrepresented Kemetic symbolism and teachings as evil or savage is rooted in a combination of cultural imperialism, religious doctrine, and systematic efforts to control narratives. Here's an exploration of how this occurred. 1. Cultural superiority narrative. European colonizers often viewed their own cultures as superior to those of the peoples they encountered. This ethnocentric perspective led to the demonization of non-European cultures, including the ancient traditions of Kemet. By labeling their symbols and beliefs as evil, colonizers aimed to justify their dominance and control over these societies. 2. Religious doctrine. Many European colonizers were driven by a Christian worldview that regarded non-Christian beliefs as heretical. Ancient Egyptian spirituality, which included polytheism and practices that diverged from Christian teachings, was often framed as paganism or witchcraft. This religious bias contributed to the perception of Kemetic symbols as malevolent. 3. Educational systems. Colonial education systems were designed to promote European history, values, and beliefs while suppressing indigenous knowledge. As a result, descendants of Kemet were taught that their ancestral symbols were associated with darkness and evil, rather than being celebrated as expressions of their rich cultural heritage. For propaganda and stereotyping, European literature, art, and media during the colonial period often portrayed ancient Egyptians in a negative light. This propaganda reinforced stereotypes that associated Kemet symbols with barbarism or immorality, further alienating descendants from their own heritage. 5. Psychological impact. The systematic denigration of Kemetic culture had profound psychological effects on its descendants. Many internalized the belief that their ancestral symbols were shameful or evil, leading to a disconnection from their cultural identity and a lack of pride in their heritage. 6. Resistance and resurgence. Despite this historical manipulation, there has been a resurgence of interest in Kemetic culture among descendants. Efforts to reclaim and reinterpret ancient symbols have emerged, challenging the negative narratives imposed by colonialism and promoting a return to a more accurate understanding of their significance. In summary, the portrayal of Kemetic symbolism as evil was a strategic effort by European colonizers to undermine the cultural identity of the descendants of Kemet, facilitating control and dominance. This misrepresentation has had lasting effects, but contemporary movements are increasingly focused on reclaiming and celebrating this rich heritage. This has been a Sharri Plaza presentation.